In this video, we're going to talk about how to sharpen your GTA26. As you use it, the teeth on the chain do a lot of work, and of course they will lose their edge over time, and we need to be able to put a nice fresh edge back in place. You could recognise the fact that your GTA26 could do with a sharpen by the fact that it might just lose cutting performance. It starts to cut slowly. You might notice it using up more battery, and it runs out of battery faster. You might notice it just feeling like it's got no power. You can also notice it by the type of sawdust that is made. Here we can see nice chunky shavings. That's a good indication of a sharp chain. Whereas over here we see more powdery dust, and that's another example of often what a dull chain can do. When it comes to sharpening the GTA26, we recommend using our 2-in-1 file system. Also very helpful to have a good vise. So with the vise, hold that guard down out the way, position the saw upside down, that way the guard's not going to be getting in your way, and then just gently tighten up the vise and make sure that that chain is not jammed or pinched. Before we do any sharpening and before we put it into a vise, it really is important that we pull the battery out, that way the machine is safe. There are left and right hand cutters alternating around that loop of saw chain. Here's an example, a scaled up model of a typical tooth. The part that does the cutting is the leading edge of the main tooth here, and that's the bit that we need to put a nice fresh edge on. The piece in the front here is what we call our depth gauge. That helps to control or regulate how much wood that the tooth can take. And the beauty of the 2-in-1 file system is that it does both the depth gauge with that flat file in the middle, and it does the sharpening of the tooth with the round file. We have to place the 2-in-1 in the right position, so we're going to sharpen the teeth on the opposite side to us first, and the round file slips into place, and the depth gauge is underneath the flat file in the middle here. Position the file, you can see the files down on the tooth, and then we sharpen as we push away from the tooth. There is some indications. There's a chainsaw here. Bear in mind that we have the GTA upside down in the vise, so it's going to look a little different to that. And then on that side we can see the arrow. When it's all positioned into place, that's the sort of tricky part to get right. We're holding it flat at 90 degrees, so we're not tipping it that way or lifting up that way. We can then stroke the file as we move away. Depending on how bad it is, you might have to do 3 or 4 strokes. In this case, this chain is just having a nice little touch up. 2 strokes is enough. And you can see I can only just sort of fit onto one tooth at a time before I have to rotate it around. But thankfully there's not a lot of teeth on this little saw chain, so you find yourself moving around it pretty quick. Alright, last one. Once you've completed the first side, then it's probably easier just to take the whole GTA, turn it around in the vise, and that way you can come in and now from a really good angle get in there and do the other side. And it's just the same procedure, so we start and we push away from the tooth and then just work our way around. Before you know it, you will have made your whole way around the chain, and that will be the sharpen complete. Once you've done it all, you can take it out of the vise. The final step after we've completed our sharpen would be just to take some of the multi-oil bio here, just run a little bit around the chain. That just freshens the chain up, lubricates it all, helps it keep it all clean and last a little longer. And once we've done that, we're free to clean it up, put it back away, or get back out to work.
STIHL came out with a new handheld tool. It's the GTA26. It's battery powered, and they call it a hand pruner. The question is, what do you do with it? Well, we're gonna find out. Safety first. Well, they call it a pruner, so let's start with some pruning. Pruning may have gotten a little bit out of hand. Let's try something else. You know what? Let's leave this to the lawnmower. I think we've gone a little bit beyond pruning. Let's find out. So what do you use STIHL's new hand pruner for? Better question. What don't you use it for?
สวัสดีครับวันนี้เราก็จะมาแนะนำเครื่องตัดแต่งกิ่งรุ่น GTA26 นะครับรุ่นมินินี่นะครับมาดูในกล่องว่ามีอะไรบ้างนะครับแกะมาเปิดกล่องใหม่นะครับเปิดกล่องมาก็จะมีหน้าตาแบบนี้มีถุงกระเป๋าใส่ให้นะครับและก็มีแผ่นคู่มือนะครับใบรับประกันของSTIHLแกะมาก็จะมีแบบนี้เลยครับก็จะมีตัวเลื่อยคู่มือแบตเตอรี่ที่ชาร์จแบตเตอรี่นะครับแบตเตอรี่1ตัวแล้วก็มีน้ำมันหยอดนะครับหยอดโซ่นี่ครับตัวเขาก็จะมีลักษณะแบบนี้มีปลอกครอบให้มีการ์ดมีเซฟให้ขนาด4 นิ้วนะครับเป็นบังคับนี่เท่าฝ่ามือเล็กๆแค่นี้เองนะครับจากกล่องแบตเตอรี่มาให้1ก้อนนะครับแบตเตอรี่ก็จะมีขนาดอยู่ที่นี่ครับ 10.8 โวลต์ได้ 2.1 ชั่วโมงนะครับเสียบเข้าไปนี่เลยครับดูเสียบไปเข้าได้ก็ลงล็อกนี้กดนี่ทำงานกดนี้ไม่ได้นะครับเป็นเซฟไกต้องดันนี้ก่อนแล้วก็ถึงทำงานได้อย่างนี้นะครับมีระดับแบตเตอรี่บอกสถานะการทำงานนะครับทั้งหมด3ขีดนี่ครับกดตรงนี้ดูระดับนี่นะครับ
อย่าลืมกดติดตามกด Subscribe กดกระดิ่งกริ๊งๆนะคะเพื่อติดตามคลิปวิดีโอใหม่ๆของร้านเจ๊โหดการเกษตรหรือเข้าไปดูในเว็บไซต์บุญสุขเกษตรติดต่อได้ทั้งทางเพจและทางไลน์ค่ะ